Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast. We are here with a rapid reaction from Mike Vrabel's session with us at the NFL owners meetings here at the Breakers. 7:45, we sat down and talked to him. We were done with him by about 8:20. I'm here with Moose, and we had a really good session. Highlight of it to me was a question posed by Curran about how well Vrabel feels about things accomplished so far and winning the division. Here's Mike.
We want to win the division.
You want to host a playoff?
We absolutely do.
Based on what you've done so far, do you feel you're closer?
We're winning. We won March. Amazing. Which is something that's comical, right? We're never just trying to win March. We want to just try to be ready when the season goes, and it's a long process. Don't interrupt me, Karen. I'm still talking. What's the question?
Are you happy with?
I'm never happy. Am I happy
what
with?
you've done?
Yes, I think that what we've done has been exciting. It's been fun to come to work. There's an energy in the building, which I am proud of. That when I hear that from people around the building that maybe have been there, that makes me happy. That everybody is excited and there's an energy about coming to work and ultimately trying to help the players.
You know, this was probably, I've been coming to these since 2006, so that's 19 of these, easily the best morning breakfast. Now, what's a morning breakfast for the media get you fans? Not much. You would rather us have a miserable orange juice sipping Bill and be able to attend parades in February any day of the week. And I don't blame you. Doesn't really matter how good the coach's breakfast is. But in terms of getting information to you about what the direction of the team is, it's vital. It's the state of the Patriots. We got it from Vrabel today. We'll get it from Robert Kraft tomorrow. Let's dive into some of the takeaways. The first one I want to hit on, the importance of this draft. I wrote a column. You can find it on NBCSportsBoston.com about this draft. The Patriots have no core. They have Gonzalez. They have May. They'll probably have Milton Williams. But by the time this team gets good, when you're presuming they should be challenging for the upper crust of the AFC, who that's on this team right now will still be here in 3 years? Duggar? Keon White? Will Stefon Diggs be here? Will Hunter Henry be here? Really, in 2027. All these guys are older. Will Barmore be here? A lot of X factors. The only two guys you can be assured on the 53 who will be here are Gonzalez and May. Why is that? Because they've drafted so poorly. They don't have any core to build with. They don't have the core that the 70s Patriots did with Steve Nelson and Russ Francis and Mike Haynes and John Hanna, that the 90s Patriots built with, McGinnis and Bledsoe, that the 2010s Patriots built with Edelman, and Matt Slater, and Hightower, and Chandler Jones. So, here's Vrabel talking about the importance of this draft, because it catches up to you.
Mike, how important is it to build that core of young players in this draft? 3-4 guys were long-term contributors. Last year, it's kind of an X factor as to how many guys. The previous year, not a lot of guys. It's
tough, buddy. It catches up with you. You know what I mean? It catches up. If you don't draft well, it catches up with you. You got to chase in free agency, and you got to be perfect. And so the draft is critical, right? To be able to find players that fit a role, and you develop them, and that you decide to retain them and build through the draft because you know the person. And the player can really excel in your program and what you believe in. So you got to draft well. If not, it catches up with you.
Can't be one guy a year reliever, or 2 guys a year. It has to be. You can't get all 10, whatever.
No, but you have to have the volume of that draft. Or if you're going to go up for players, you got to be convicted on them because of the capital that it's going to cost you to go up and get them.
I thought that was a great answer from Mike. Very honest, very glib. Now let's get into some of the specific prospects we were able to ask him about. And I want to lead with Will Campbell because to me, the left tackle out of LSU is an individual who the Patriots have met with many times and there are questions and concerns about his arm length. For Mike Vrabel, there is no question nor concern about whether Will Campbell will be a left tackle in the NFL. Here he is.
With Will Campbell, I know that you guys have met with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Remember, what do you think of those two prospects specifically?
Well, I mean, I think they're great, young, talented players that have great film. You know what I mean? Will's got a lot of snaps at left tackle.
Do you view Will as a left tackle prospect?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. You know, I don't understand how. You know, you could watch him play in the SEC, which is the best conference in college football, against guys that are going to get drafted at that position. So I don't think you have to project it. You can just actually watch and say there's the snaps at left tackle, evaluate it, see what you think.
The other great conversation that's ongoing is what happens if Travis Hunter slips to the Patriots and he's sitting there at number 4. What side of the ball is he going to play on? Is he a two-way player? Vrabel did not specifically say, but he indirectly said, until he masters one side, if he's playing for us, he's staying there. And then we'll talk about adding some more to his plate. Here's Vrabel on Travis Hunter.
I don't know how anybody could say how hard it would be. We've never seen a player, necessarily do it. I think that there are some things that he can improve on by, probably concentrating on more than or just on one position, but never going to put any restrictions on Travis or any player. We try to, as much as they can handle, that we're going to continue to put more on their plate. And so if he were on our football team and he showed a great skill at one position and was starting to really do well in his conditioning and it didn't fall off and it didn't drop, we would be open to playing everybody that we had at more than one position. Anything that would help the football team, I would be all in favor of.
Does he have to have a primary position?
Well, I think to improve, I think there has to be a primary focus, just to be able to get some of the details that are going to be required at this league. So, we'll see. Once everybody's on our football team, where they end up playing or where they end up starting out and practicing.
I had an itch to scratch. I did. I love tight ends. And when I look at the Patriots team right now, you have Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. One of the only rooms in the entire franchise that you could say, that's a good group. You get Raheem Bell in there too, X Factor. We don't know how good he's going to be. Tyler Warren is regarded by some as a top 5 prospect in this draft. When you talk about best player available, he could be. He's going to be sitting there at 4, I guarantee you. Should the Patriots take a tight end at 4? I don't know. I think you could trade down and still get Tyler Warren somewhere in the top 10. Maybe not. Maybe he'd be gone by 10. But the upshot is I love Tyler Warren. So does Mike Vrabel.
What do you think of Tyler Warren? I say just build the whole offense out of tight ends.
But how many tight ends can we play, right? Well, I think that we would love to add as many good football players or have that play style, and you certainly watch Tyler and his play style and his demeanor, and having met with him at the combine, I think he's a wonderful prospect. And I'm all for playing and acquiring as many tight ends as we can possibly get. So sign me up. Bring me as many good tight ends as you have out there, Tommy, and we'll find him something to do.
Now, the most recent ad for the Patriots, Stefon Diggs. Patriots, as Vrabel said, they won March, for whatever that gets you. Stefon Diggs added last week. Vrabel was asked about his time spent with him. I kind of should have followed up here. He's going to talk about the coach-quarterback relationship, the relationship with the quarterback vis-a-vis Diggs and May. I should have followed up and just point-blank said, look, there have been times when Diggs has been witnessed chewing on the hide of quarterbacks. Did you guys have a conversation about that specifically and say, avoid that or go ahead and do it? But we didn't do that. But here is Vrabel on Diggs.
What's your excitement level getting Stefon Diggs?
Well, Stefon brings an energy to him. I think that it's fun to coach players like that, and guys that have a confidence to them, that understand the game of football, that have been around, that has developed. This isn't like a first-round draft pick. Stefon went later in the draft and continued to improve and has done that. Has been productive each and every year. But I love his energy. I love our conversation so far, and looking forward to getting him back there and helping him recover from the surgery.
All right, going to clean it up here with the last portion, and this is vital to the Patriots organization and how they match up right now. Not match up. How all the decisions will coalesce between coaching and personnel, especially with a group, and Elliott Wolf and his staff, who don't have shared time with Vrabel and his coaches. So they're all trying to find common ground when they see guys. And Vrabel said that's more specific to when you have these conversations about, I like this guy, I don't like this guy. I was oversimplifying, but he got what I was driving at. He said that's more specific to conversations that you have around draft prospects than you would around free agents. It's not a lot of tug of wars with free agents. You know what the guy is. He's been in the league. But with prospects, there is a bit of a tug of war. And what can happen in that instance, listen to the whole answer from Vrabel, but I chimed in as a follow-up, you do have the potential for I told you so situations. Because if the coaching staff pleads for somebody and the personnel side says, why don't we take this guy, and they ultimately take the player the personnel side wanted, and say Ladd McConkey goes out and rips it up for the Chargers, and you're sitting there with Jalen Polk and his 12 catches, somebody might have liked Ladd McConkey, and I'm not saying that was a specific situation, but somebody's going to say, told you so, we should have had that guy. And then in turn, the scouting department might turn around and say, well, the coaches screwed him up. They should have been able to reach him. They weren't able to. And I'm using these as placeholder examples. But listen to Vrabel on the draft and the decision-making that goes on between the evaluation process between coaches and scouts and how you deal with that I told you so potential.
I think for the coaches, the best thing is to have a vision. Like, this is what this player is going to do for us. This is how we're going to use them. And then the personnel side says, okay, here are the traits. Here's the skill set. This is what the measurables are. And you always want to try to combine that. And so it's my job, I think, to coordinate both sides of it.
What sucks is that can set itself up for a told you so. Say the guy turns into.
Well, we never want to do that, but I think that's human nature. We want to try to eliminate those things from our program. The I told you so's, like, you can put it on me. I'm a big boy. Trust me. We're going to have a lot of things that go well, which will be due to the players and the assistant coaches, and they'll have some things that won't go so well. And you can put those on me. I can handle it.
So like I said, this is your rapid reaction. We're going to have so much more throughout the day. We'll get you call them up on NBCSportsBoston.com. We will definitely hash this out with the Senator Phil Perry, who's back at the home base. Got to have his take on all this stuff because he is critical and pivotal to the entire operation. And then we'll see you tonight on Early Edition. Tomorrow we'll have another pod. We'll talk to Robert Kraft in the morning. Moose and I will be there bright and early wherever Robert is. We will be. And then we'll have Quick Slants tomorrow afternoon. Appreciate you guys checking in. Again, I think it was it's not a good team. They're not a good football team. I don't care how many Morgan Moseses and Bobby Spillanes and Carlton Davises and Milt Williams got added. They're still not a good team. They got a shit ton of work to do. But at least the coach's breakfast was good.